It took me an hour to find a bottle of ranch. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. So I was about to head home from practice, and I get a text from my dad. And he's like, "Hey, can you call me? I want to see if you can pick something up for me." So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll pick." I'm like, okay. I'm sure it's something small. It's not like I'm picking up a dishwasher. He wouldn't have me pick up a dishwasher on my way home from practice. So I'm like, okay. I call him, and he tells me he wants me to pick up this blue cheese ranch dressing, like very specifically like blue cheese, not a normal ranch dressing. Because I mean, we have normal ranch dressing, but this was special ranch dressing. This was blue ranch dressing, and that's the one he wanted. So I'm like, okay, I'll pick it up, and he tells me to go to Freddy. Move properly. Anyway, okay, but Freddy. Okay. Then he told me this specific place to get it. He says go to this Walmart marketplace to get it. This isn't important now, but it's gonna be important later. It leads to a couple things. So I'm like, okay, I'll grab it. Okay, so I head out. I head out from practice on my way home. So as I'm heading home, I have a Walgreens. There's a Walgreens on my way home. And so I'm like, I know it would be weird for Walgreens to have this ranch. But, I mean, I see weirder things at Walgreens. So I'm like, okay, I'll go, I'll check. So I pull into the parking lot. I pull into the parking lot. I go in. I don't find the ranch. There's no ranch to be seen anywhere. Not an iota of ranch. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll go out of my way and actually go get it. Now, the instructions specifically that he had given me, he directed me to a certain Walmart. Because a huge normal Walmart is actually pretty far from our house. So this wasn't like a Walmart. This was a Walmart market, Walmart neighborhood market. So it's very specific. And he did ask me, "Do you know where this is?" And I thought I did. But I go, so the landmark he used to give to me, he told me, okay, it's by this gas station. Well, it being a gas station, we have a couple. But I was like, no, I'm sure this is the right one. I'm sure. So I drove there. It wasn't. It wasn't. But I didn't know that. Because the reason I thought this was the right one is the gas station had a Walgreens across from it. Not a Walmart market, like I heard, but Walgreens in my brain, it was close enough. I was like, okay, maybe I misheard him. Maybe it's this Walgreens. So that's where I end up going. Where do I go from here? Oh, I remember. So I go there. I search the store for like minutes, or like 5-10 minutes, looking for ranch. And I I find like 3 bottles. I'm like, yes. It took so long to get here. I went to the wrong place, but no, I found it. I look at all the bottles of ranch. They're all normal. None of them are blue cheese. Not a single one. They're all just normal ranch. And my dreams have been ruined. So at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm definitely at the wrong place. So I look it up. I go on to Google Maps on my phone. And I'm like, okay, Walmart Marketplace. And it shows up. And I'm looking at it on Google Maps. I'm like, wait a minute. I zoom out. The gas station that it was next to, the landmark, is the one that's closer to the house. The Q2 that I went, the gas station that I went to, I hardly ever go to. But for some reason in my brain, I'm like, okay, this random one that I never go to, yeah, that's definitely where it direct me. But so I went to the wrong gas station. I went to the wrong one. So after finally figuring out where to go, I make my way over, and boom, I'm there. I'm in the Walmart parking lot. Okay, did I just die? I I died mid cutscene. What? Okay, so back to the Walmart we go. I'm standing there in the Walmart parking lot, feeling my success. Finally, I had actually managed to get to it. I'm on the level. Yeah, okay. But no, I was there. I made it. I was like, man, I made it. All my woes are over. I won't have to spend, any more time. I think I spent at least half an hour looking for it at this point. I go in, and I immediately greeted by just the strangest looking guest. Like, not the Walmart. It looked like I was gonna get mugged. I mean, I walked in. The first thing I saw was there were cones around this section of concrete. Like, it didn't look like the floor was wet. It didn't look wet. It looked like the concrete that was there. Ready? 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 Hello? Okay. But no, I get there, there's cones on the floor. I saw entire aisles just be empty. They're just gone. And there's like three people there. Three people there. They all look they look depressed. Like, I was like, okay, I don't want to be here. But I'm like, okay. You know what? I came all this way. I'm getting it. I'm getting the ranch. Taking half an hour, I'm getting this ranch. So I make my way over to the ranch. There is like half an aisle's worth of ranch, and I'm like, what? Who needs this much ranch? Now, I found blue cheese. I found it. It was spelled different, and I was like, he said he was oddly specific about the name, because he told me it was BLEU. Specifically, that was the name of the salad dressing he wanted. And I would not want to have to go through all this and then come back home with the wrong cheese. So I'm like, I gotta make sure. So I'm just staring at it. I'm looking for BLEU. There's BLUE, which is, the normal way you'd spell blue, but no BLEU French cheese. So I'm just... Okay. So I'm looking through, and I find blue, but I do not find blue. So I'm just staring at it. I'm weaving around. People are coming through. I'm getting kind of weird looks because I'm just standing there for 15 minutes looking at cheese. Not cheese, well, ranch dressing. I got cheese on the brain because it's called blue cheese, but really it's just ranch dressing. So finally, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna text my dad. Is it blue, as in the normal color, or is it the French name? And he says, okay, it's the French name. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm not seeing it. And I'm like, look, my dad's a smart man. He would not have sent me here if it wasn't here. So where is it? I'm sitting there for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then he texts me, actually, it can be both ways. And it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I grab the cheese. I need to put the Monty mystery mix down. So I go up to the register. The man in front of me has 5 to 7 bottles, full bottles. These things are as long as your forearm, of vegetable oil. I wish I knew what this man was doing with this vegetable oil. Why does he need it? He had a carton of eggs. Is he making a giant omelet? Is he making an omelet the size of the sun? What does one man need 7 bottles of vegetable oil for? Why would you need that? For what purpose? What purpose does having that much vegetable oil serve? But you know what? I'm not going to question it. If you want to buy 7 bottles of vegetable oil for strange purposes, you do you. And so I let him go along with his business. And I just came up to the register. And is Chica tracking me in the suit? So I'm trying to pay. Alright? Nothing about this process, nothing about any of this has been simple. I should have just been, I go, get cheese, done. No, I didn't get that. So I'm sitting there, trying to pay for it. I'm trying to use chip. I put it in. It says card problem. Pull it back out. I do it again. Take it out. I wait. Maybe now I just give it time. Put it in. Doesn't work. I swipe. Doesn't work. Put it in again. And then finally, after the... By the way, this is in complete silence with the cashier. She finally speaks up. It's like, hey, try the card a couple more times. Doesn't work. Try swiping it. So I sit there. I put the card in. I take it out. Put the card in. Take it out. Put the card in. Take it out. Didn't work. Swipe it. It works. And finally, I get to go home. I no longer have to continue this adventure of attempting to get blue cheese. It took me an hour. It should not have taken me an hour. And this is actually my 3rd time having to tell that story. Because first, I told it to my dad. Because, like, you know, it's kind of puzzling when you tell your son, go get some cheese, and it comes back an hour later. Alright, I'm out of story. Subscribe. Yes, do that. How do I get out of here?